from PMI UAE Chapter. Welcome to our first webinar. A few points on the logistics side. The webinar will be for an hour and it will have two parts. For any questions, please use the Q&A section on your Cisco WebEx app if you're using your mobile or your laptop. For any technical issues, please also use the WhatsApp group that has been highlighted in the Q&A section of your WebEx app. And finally, just a reminder that you will remain muted for the duration of the webinar. Make use of the Q&A section, and the slides will be uploaded at the end of the session very shortly in the next few days. So with that, let me put first a structure to this webinar. We will begin today with a section on what is PMI and why it is important to be part of it. It will be presented by Hayat Mansour for 20 minutes, then followed by PMI UAE Chapter Good Things Happen Here will be presented to you by Alab, and that is for the duration of 40 minutes. So let's first introduce our first presenter, our wonderful Hayat. Hayat is a program control manager with over 20 years of practical experience in the field of construction management, BIM management, facility management, controlling and planning using latest PC skills and programs mainly in planning, scheduling, monitoring with project management suites like Primavera, Asta Power Project, and MS Project. Revit and Navis works to have the full BIM concept 3D, 4D, and 5D. In addition, she is working as a trainer in the Society of Engineers since 2007, where she prepares materials and provides some courses such as management courses in Primavera P6, delay analysis, MEP planning, MS Project, Navis Works, and Revit. So with that, let me hand over to Hayat for her first presentation. What is PMI and why it is important to be part of it? Thank you.
Thanks, Mazlum. I'm very happy today to be in this webinar and to launch the first webinar through PMI UAE Chapter. Have a good night, and let me today just speak little about PMI and why it's very important to be part from our society. It's one from the big institute in the world. PMI is not profit. It's not for profit membership association. I think most of us hear about it, but I will try to speak little about the PMI and the benefit of the members and the main credentials, certification we have here. So let me just start quickly. The PMI, as we said, it's the world leading not-for-profit membership association for the project management profession. Of course, there is a lot of project management association, but PMI is from the biggest one. We have more than 600,000 members and credential holders in more than 185 countries, and it's still growing up. As you know, the project management is more important for all fields, and it's not about only the time, scope, budget, and the quality. It's something related also to the people, the teams, and to develop anyone to start the management field. So the starting of Project Management Institute, or the founded of PMI, it's since 1969 through some project managers who established this institute. So now we are celebrating the 50th anniversary in this year. The Project Management Institute delivered a value for more than 2.9 million professionals, over 500,000 certified, working in nearly every country in the world. And it's through the education, collaboration, and research. There are communities of practices in many areas like information system, financial services, and healthcare. It's across all industry from the healthcare, telecommunication, and finance, IT, and construction. It's important to all kinds of people and to all managers. The PMI Advanced Careers improve organizational success and further mature the profession of project management through our globally recognized standards, certifications, resources, tools, academic research, publications, professional development courses, and networking opportunities. We will go through all of this in detail after a few slides. It's related to standard certification, resources, and tools, and which updated continually. The project management research, certifications program, and all of this continue to grow. Let's go more in deep in PMI. So this is something about the certifications, the active certifications with numbers. So we have like 938,000 the PMP. We have who got the PMP already credit. The CAPM around like 39,000. PGMP or the program management professional more than 2,600. The risk management professional, more than 5,000. Scheduling professional, around 2,000 person. Agile, it's 28,000 or more. The portfolio management professional, 712. And PBA, it's around like 3,500. So total, more than 1,400 or around 1,500, 1,500,000. And it's distributed in all regions. We can see the most in Asia and North America, and we can see in many areas also according to the chart. The membership, there is like 534,000 individual members in addition to students and retired, so total around like 574,000 total members according to the latest research in May 2019. This also show us some figure about the the numbers, but through the different fields. So we can see most of the members, they are IT, from the IT field. And this the global chapters. We have around 307 chapters through the world, and it's still distributing more and more and establish more. So if you enter to the PMI website, you can see the cost to join and to get the benefit of the PMI, but it's around like $129 as initial fees, and there is like renewal, same number, but there is special number for the student and the retired. There is a lot of benefit for the PMI membership, especially to access the webinars, the blogs and articles, the resources which will be also available, ability to network with all the PM people, and discounts on exam, training, books, and the renewal. Access to most of current PM books. The PMI membership benefits, especially they can gain a lot of complimentary, like the PM book guides, which are available when you become a member, free virtual events and webinars, and this will help you to gain a lot of PDU also. So there is an opportunity to earn low or no cost PDUs, and this will help you to renew your certificate. Up to 20% of PMI store purchases you can purchase directly from the PMI website, and free access to tools, templates, and collaboration boards of on projectmanagement.com, which will help to gain the following. You can, from PMI, you can learn and network with the people in person or online. You can be involved and stay involved through the networking. You will gain a lot of knowledge. Even if you just study the PM book to prepare to the certificate, you will gain a lot of information. In addition to the resource which you will find it in the PMI website, communities and volunteer opportunity, which open to everyone, the career resources and professional development. In PMI, there is option to submit or to register and have a journey for the unique needs, and there is some offer to a job also, rewards and discounts. So you will find also a lot of benefit to discount for the programs, the books, and more and more. Publications, there is a lot of people who can publish through the PMI. Career resources, so you can also, like we said, you can looking for a next opportunity and improve your knowledge. So just a quick view about the certificate we have in PMI. The main certification is the PMP, the Project Management Professional, the CIPM, Certified Associated in Project Management, PGMP is Program Management Professional, PFMP or the Portfolio Management Professional, the Agile, PMI Agile Certified Practitioner, PMI Professional in Business Analysis. And finally, the Risk Management Professional and the PMI Scheduling Professional. This is the more important, and or the certificate, PMI certificate, and the main benefit for this certificate, additional to the PMI membership, is to recognition and endorsement. It will help any project manager to gain expertise, to be expertise and professional. It's like proof for him. Increased earning, it will add value for the CV when you have it there. The career advancement, it's also required, especially in the Khalij area and many areas, to have this certificate when you want to apply to any project management roles. When you obtain this certificate, you need to have some credentials. So this mentioned in the PMI website, and it's different from certificate to another certificate. You can find it there, but for example, if we will talk in general, we can take like the PMP as example. For the PMP, if you want to apply for this certificate, you are required to have either the secondary degree, the high school diploma, associate degree with 7,500 hours leading or and direction project. So this will help to know that you have some experience, and this will transfer in addition to the 35 hours of project management education, this from the course which you will get it before the certificate. It's the study of the PM book. Or you need to have 4-year degree, the bachelor degree of the or the global equivalent, and at least 3 years experience in project management, and this will required from you around like 4,500 hours, and directing projects in addition to the 35 hours of project management education. This, of course, you will apply it in the website through a form, and you need to explain all your experience. So Even the PMI has the right to request it from you the proof to have all of this. After you gain the certificate, you will need to maintain it. And this also mentioned in the website. You can see that, for example, the PMP will require from you 60 PDUs every 3 years. Then after you can renew your certificate without any requesting to redo the exam again. This is just example, but you can see it more according to the certificate which you select to gain. You will see here the more standard, because PMI will have standard codes and a lot of additional books. This will help to improve a lot of information. I think the more important information about PMI in general. We will try to explain more with a lot about PMI UAE Chapter, because this will give us you will see more benefit there. Mazen will introduce Alap and will come back to you.
Okay, excellent. Actually, before I introduce Alap, maybe I was thinking just I have some really good questions that came up on the Q&A section. So I will pose the first question to you. I'll pose the first question to you. Hayat. Can any professional join PMI.org?
Yeah, of course, anyone can join PMI, but he needs to pay the fees. The more information will be requested from him when he wants to apply to any certificate. But in general, he can join the PMI.
Excellent. I have another 2 minutes before I introduce Alap. In the UAE, the second question by Maisa Hussein, in the UAE, is it mandatory to achieve the PMP certification to find a project management title?
What I notice now, it's required, but it's not mandatory. It's according to the organization, but it's still required in the big companies, and it will give a big value to prove the person that he has a good information and knowledge as project manager. So this will give the person or the employee more trust or confidential that he has this information and he can get the job.
Excellent. In the space of time, I have a couple more questions. Is there a retirement age for membership? As Dakshina has mentioned that she saw a couple of slides on the retirees this year. Is there a retirement age from membership, or is there anything like that?
I think they were required a retire certificate or something from the employee that this person is retired. Then he can go to pay as retired, not as employee or as still in the work. So it's help from PMI organization to him. Or it's like evaluate this person because he has a lot of knowledge.
Sure. Okay, that's a great question, Dakshina. I think you can post this question also on the WhatsApp group. We can connect you with some more with our membership director for any further information. That's a fantastic question. Mm-hmm. I have Dimitrios also posting another question. What is the difference between PMP and Certified Associate in Program or Project Management?
Yeah, the PMP and CAPM. It's the main difference. The CAPM, it's for the people who still like they are a new graduate or still don't have the 3 years experience. And as we get an example for the PMP credential, so in case if I don't have this 3 years yet, or I still not graduate, I still can be a PMI certified, but I will not go to the PMP because it's high requirement. I will go to CAPM. Even the number of questions will be less, and renewal PDU will be less. But you still can study the same book, the PM book, and you will have to answer around like 200 or less than 200 questions, 175 questions. If you need more information, you can just give us, and we will send to you about that.
Excellent.
Give us your email.
Excellent. So thank you for the questions. I'd love to bring to your attention that there's a WhatsApp group as well for further questions. Very good questions. Our next exciting topic. Thank you, Hayat. Thank you, Hayat, for this. Our next exciting topic is the PMI UAE chapter. Good things happen here, and it's gonna be presented by our wonderful Alap, and let me just introduce Alap both to us. He's actually the Director of Marketing, previously assuming multiple positions. He's the co-founder and CEO of Quick Work. He used to be a project manager at IBM and Unilever, as well as multiple other positions. I will leave you in the good hands of Alap for the next 40 minutes, taking us through this exciting topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazen. Hayat, that was wonderful. Welcome, everyone. It is a step through into the world of what project managers do in UAE. So where do project managers go in UAE to connect with like-minded people? And that's what we're going to talk about today. PMI is a massive global organization, as Hayat has already mentioned, and it brings in all the standards. But then how do you go about figuring out how those standards and how those certifications work in the local market? And that's where the local chapters come in. That's where each of the chapters of PMI play a big role in connecting people to each other. The networking element of PMI is largely delivered through the chapters. That's what we're going to talk about. Right. So the UAE chapter has a vision to be the eminent influencer towards the advancement and success of project management throughout UAE. Now, UAE as a country, and we love saying this word, UAE as a country is obsessed with projects. And towards that respect, we find that there is a massive recognition of the structured way of delivering projects, and because of which there is a massive recognition of the certifications and the networks that come about through organizations like PMI, and which is how we are looking at it as a chapter to be the main influencer towards recognition of project management and project managers within their respective organizations. The chapter is driven with a clear mission. So what we are looking at is essentially contributing to the project management community in the UAE, advancing the profession, and making sure that we are delivering a large number of benefits that our members are looking for from us back to our members. So what we do is we identify and look at what is going on within the project management body. We look at what our members are looking at as a networking requirement, and then we go ahead and deliver it. And in the process, if we can have some fun, then better at it. So the UAE chapter is kind of special within the region. It is the #1 chapter in the Middle East and Africa region. It is in terms of number of members. It is among the top 40 chapters in the world. As of May, it's actually number 36. We have more than 2,100 chapter members, and we have a way to go. We have double the number of people who are PMI members in the UAE who haven't joined us in the chapter yet. So we have a large potential to grow as well. We have over 1,200 certified professionals, and they add a lot of value. A lot of them volunteer with us as speakers. Hayat joined us initially through that channel as well. And we have a lot of people looking to give back to the profession and maintain their certifications through that. We have one of the largest volunteer bodies. Our host for today, Marvin, has done an amazing job having a huge army of volunteers who make sure that we deliver pretty much every benefit possible out there. We have a lot of sponsors, and this is something that is kind of special within the region because we are the only chapter we have which within the region which has high-profile sponsors and partners. This helps us deliver value to the members. We don't have to bank on the membership fees too much, but essentially what it helps us to do is to have that recognition from these organizations that these networks are important to them. And these organizations then provide us with speakers, topics, case studies that we can then share with our members. And just as PMI is celebrating 50 years, we are celebrating 5 years as a chartered chapter. As a Gulf Khaliji chapter, the name was around before that, but as a chartered chapter, we're celebrating 5 years this year. In terms of our objectives, it's structured in these areas. So for one of the key, actually all of them have equal importance, as you can see out here. Outreach is where we reach out to the various universities and organizations and invite them to be part of the community. We are in conversations with a number of universities, getting into a number of memorandums of understanding. A few organizations, some of whom are our sponsors, are also getting into these MOUs with us on their members or their employees or their students is getting involved with us, and they providing us with speakers, venues, and so on. Essentially recognizing the value of project management within their organization or that university. In terms of our marketing, we have a huge reach. Our Facebook following is 6 times our membership, and we even on LinkedIn we actually are followed by a much larger number of people than our members. Our membership keeps growing. We focus on benefits to our members, and you'll see some more towards that coming forward. In terms of knowledge management, we have taken huge strides this year as well. We have introduced a new knowledge management portal, knowledge sharing portal. We started with case studies where members can go ahead and submit case studies, and we are already in the process of evaluating a number of case studies for publication. These will be specific from members back to members. We are going to be expanding the knowledge portal with a lot more to come. If you want to look at these slides, just go back to the knowledge corner in a couple of days, and you can see these slides in there as long as you're logged in as a member. In terms of financial, yes. So as a sponsorship, that's one element that's important to make sure that we deliver the value to our members and don't burn our pockets in the way. And the various events that we carry out. So we'll come to the event calendar, and a number of members are always looking at what events are coming forward, and we will see a snapshot of that today, and the entire calendar will be up on the website very soon. That's the chapter board. As you can see, we have a varied chapter board, and the best part is we have more women than men on this board, which means that we have a lot of empathy towards what our members want. Our chapter president, Leila, she has been a rock for this chapter. She's been around for more than almost 4 years now, and she's actually connected the chapter with a lot of organizations, a lot of eminent speakers, and a lot of value that has come in through the connections there. I'm not going to touch upon everybody, but as a structure, we have the events, finance and governance, outreach and knowledge management, volunteer marketing, memberships as the directors. Hidayah looks after the board as a whole, and we've got the 3 branches, one branch in Abu Dhabi, one in Ajman, and one in Dubai. 3 lovely ladies looking after each of the branches, and they help us deliver the benefits in those areas. In each of the areas, there's also a drive towards people connecting without having an event. That's already happened a couple of times in Abu Dhabi and in Ajman as well. Dubai is a little behind on that one. I don't know why. In terms of services to chapter members, now these are coming in from the benefits that the members have asked us to deliver. So we conducted a Voice of Members workshop last year, and we'll be conducting another one later this year, through which we kind of gathered some feedback on what members wanted the chapter to deliver. And this is a kind of summary. So meeting the professionals, networking is actually the biggest benefit that people are looking for. Tap into the community of project professionals, and look at sessions by people who are eminent in the industry as well. Then, of course, the attendance at the events. A lot of tools and templates and checklists. Now, this is something that we provide as part of the PMI membership. Now, a number of you may not be aware of what projectmanagement.com does. Now, as Hayat touched upon, projectmanagement.com is essentially a resources repository that is run by PMI. Since PMI is meant to be the certification and the membership community authority. So projectmanagement.com, if you are a PMI member, you automatically get access into projectmanagement.com and a lot of the resources there. You can connect with other professionals globally, and have access to a lot of templates and tools that are already out there, apart from the blogs that are up there. The technical side of project management is something that people have been asking us about, and it actually reflects in the PTO requests that we get. So for our events, we focus on ensuring that we have enough technical PDUs, since those are the hardest ones to get as part of maintaining the credentials. We are starting the free webinars from today. Next webinar onwards, we will even have technical presentations in these webinars. There are discounts available through the exams, and what we will be doing from this year is that we will be having workshops. CAPM study groups and resume writing workshops is something that we will be starting this year. Watch out for that later in the second half of this year. Lot of volunteering opportunities. Please keep an eye on VRMS. You can actually put an alert on VRMS. Whenever there's an opportunity that matches your specialty, you get alerted and you can go ahead and apply. I, for one, keep recruiting, and Mazen and I relish in having at least one VRMS opportunity every month open, if not more. We have also started industry-based events. So if some of you have attended our Abu Dhabi event a couple of months ago, we had separate sessions. Apart from the main session, we had separate industry sessions where we had four different sessions, one for each industry domain, representing the main member type for the chapter. And these are also reflected in the LinkedIn groups that we have. So we've got 4 different LinkedIn groups specific to different industry domains, where members can talk about ideas and elements relevant to that industry and for project management in that industry. So we've got IT and telecom, we've got construction, we've got oil and energy, and we've got business management consulting. And as I said before, we started the online libraries and case studies, and more will be coming. We will be starting on more knowledge sharing elements, which will not require sign-off like case studies. We are in the process of piloting our mentorship program. We should be completing the pilot next month, and we will launch it for the wider members group maybe a month after that. And of course, this year we will also have a boot camp for certifications, where we will answer certification-related queries. I will definitely be part of that boot camp. Right. If you have any questions on this, please put it in the Q&A. I'll pick it up towards the end. As I said, if you're not following us on social media, you're missing out. We have a massive following. We are very active. We've got a lovely group of three ladies looking after our social media accounts. We keep coming up with amazing stuff that happens on that happens on the global stage, that we keep sharing that's relevant to the local chapter, and things that happen on the chapters. If you are slow in receiving emails, faster in looking at it on LinkedIn or Facebook or maybe Twitter, then that is where you see what's happening with the chapter. Everything that we send out on emails or on the website is pretty much on social media faster than it gets anywhere else. A brief snapshot of the events that we have had. As you can see here, some of these people are leaders in their own industry. So we've got people from academia, people who are stalwarts in the industry, people who are stalwarts in the government sector. We've got futurists in here. We've got Marvin up here, and authors. We've got a full gamut of people talking about project management and what it means to their area, and how project managers can make a difference within the UAE community. The kind of people that we get at our event has been one of the biggest benefits that our members have consistently given us feedback on, and we really pride ourselves in being able to host such eminent personalities. These are our sponsors. We've got, as you can see, we've got National Archives, RTA, Azman Free Zone, Dubai Health Authority, and PwC. So these are our sponsors. Azman Free Zone also hosts our Azman branch. They help conducting the Azman branch events, and they even help us host them out there. National Archives helps us host an event out in Abu Dhabi. RTA and DHA help us host events out in Dubai, and PwC recently joined us as for our consulting arm. Now the roster of sponsors also says something about the kind of value that these organizations place on project management, and the value that they place on the network available of project managers through the PMI UAE chapter. And getting on board kind of means that you are pretty much going to be assured of going ahead and attending events at one of these places and getting to know more about what goes on in these organizations. RTA, for example, also sponsors or helps organize the Dubai International Project Management Forum, along with PMI Global, that happens every year. This year it's in December, and the UAE chapter is PMI Global representative out at DIPMF. And if you are a PMI or a chapter member, you get a special discount in the DIPMF. So actually, that was the reason why I joined the PMI. Please feel free to check those discounts out. We also have IIL partnering with us. So IIL Middle East, IIL is globally one of the leading the registered education providers for project management education. And IIL Middle East is partnered with PMI UAE chapter, wherein the chapter members get special discounts on every course that is offered by IIL Middle East. Look out for some global speakers from IIL that are coming down to Dubai later this year. I think we've got a couple of major events, major sessions that IIL is going to conduct, and chapter members get the 20% discount on that. Okay, now the big one. This is the calendar of events planned for 2019. Now, we've had a few events through the first half of the year. A couple of them were the PMI events as well. And actually, we have an event coming up next week. So we've got the healthcare leadership event coming up. Healthcare leadership event coming up in next week at DHA, at the DHA Innovation Center. in Dubai. So if you've not yet registered, please get down to the website and go ahead and register for that. It promises to be an amazing one. I'm looking forward to it. In July, we're going to have another webinar and a volunteer engagement event, followed by September, October, November, and December, where each of the months we're going to have a big event, a couple of them in Dubai, one in Ajman and one in Abu Dhabi, and actually a couple of them in Abu Dhabi, and the DITMF as well. And in November, we will also be having the Voice of Members event. In case we add anything more to this, we will certainly let you know. This calendar will be up on the website in a couple of weeks' time with more details. That's about it. I think I rushed through my time and have a lot of time left over for questions. Let's go over to the questions. I'll hand over. Okay, so Martin.
Yes, thank you, Ala, for an exciting question. I'm just trying to actually list out the questions for now. Let's start with simple and easy questions and then come to the difficult ones. The first question would be, can college students join the PMI UAE chapter, those who are interested in approaching project management as a future profession?
Yes, absolutely. So we've got special student membership rates. So as Hayat has mentioned, students have a special student membership rates for PMI and a special student membership rate for the chapter. So if you become a member of PMI and the chapter, I think it only comes to about $42, and yeah, and just for the chapter. So yeah, so it's actually just for $40 to $45. And with that, you can go ahead and become a student member. And if you become a student member, you automatically get fast-tracked into our mentorship program. So, yeah, please join in.
Excellent. There's no better answer than answering two questions in one. Fantastic. That answers the question about the fees. Also, another question. I'm a PMI member that completed the PMP PDU and now preparing for the exam. How these chapters, how would this chapter will help me to improve my studies?
Right. Amazing question, and something that we keep getting asked, and we are working on that one. So we are going to have a PMI credentials boot camp, as well as study groups. But what we also help you do is get in touch with other people who are preparing at the same time. So feel free to drop us a line at any of our mail IDs on the website, and we will get you in touch with other people who are also studying and who have taken the exams in the recent past, so that you benefit from people who've been through that experience and people who are going through that experience. My personal experience has been that was the most valuable part of it all. Learning from what other people had gone through helped me clear the exam immediately.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Bharat, for this question. Next question is from Shahir. How does one get assigned a mentor? I'm looking to get linked with an industry professional in a similar background as mine.
Perfect. So this leads into how we are conducting our mentorship program. So we are currently piloting this program. We started our pilot within our volunteer community of almost 80 plus volunteers. And what we did was we have come up with a set of questions you answer when you enroll into the program in terms of your industry, what you're looking for, how much time you'd be looking to give on both sides, mentors and mentees. And then we go ahead and carry out a match between the mentors and the mentees, and then have a structured monitoring program for a few months, looking after what each of them got out of the relationship.
Excellent. I hope Shahir managed to get rid of his audio issues. So the next question will be from Ahmed Hossein. Do we have a list of all PMI members in the UAE per region?
As a chapter, yes, we do. We don't actively publicize this, but if you need to reach out to certain members or a group of members for your research, for example, yes, we do facilitate that. Actually, next week you should be getting a research request from one of our members who is, I think, working in HSBC. As part of master's research, is looking for people to answer questions on an anonymized manner. And that's something that we actually encourage because that is taking advantage of a community of people within the region. If you want to have this restricted to people within Abu Dhabi or Ajman, we can certainly help with that, but it has to be a legitimate research request.
Okay, excellent. Another question that came from Shahir: are there any study groups for members that are preparing for the CAPM, CAPM, or PMP exam?
Yes. So we are in the process of setting up a couple of study groups later in this year. Yeah. So expect something around September for this one for CAPM and as well as for PMP. And what we will be looking at doing is kind of continuing that from then. So that every quarter we have at least 1 or 2 sessions of groups that come together and we facilitate that. We wouldn't want to bombard this to everyone. This is something that we would invite people and those who are legitimately preparing for it would be a part of.
So speaking of which, I mean, is there an email address that they can contact to know more about those study groups?
We have a standard email address that's info@pmiuae.org, and any of your questions, if you direct it to that, it is monitored by the board directly, and it goes to the relevant board member depending on what question you've asked, and it will get answered from there.
Excellent. Okay, so we have a question that wanted to know more about DIPMF. And what details how could they find these details?
Easiest way, dipmf.ae. Just go down on dipmf.ae and you will see all the details. I believe the registrations for this year are not yet open, but if you are looking at using your PMI membership discount, you will have to email them to get that discount, and they'll send you a separate payment link for that one. Don't just go ahead and register and pay online. You might not get discount that way.
Excellent. So will you guys have these webinars events monthly? Is this the launch of a series?
Yes. This is the launch of a series, and this was the first webinar that we wanted to try things out with, which is the reason why we did not have any technical session within this. We wanted to give technical sessions the right treatment. So going forward, we've got 2 more sessions already identified, speakers standing by, and the dates should be out very soon, and sessions are expected every month going forward.
Okay. Another question that just came up, it says, do you have any useful feasibility study document template to share it with me? I didn't find any good document in projectmanagement.com.
Okay, that's very specific. So yes, projectmanagement.com would be the first place that we would look, but if you haven't found something there, we would look at within the volunteer community, and then we can reach out within the wider membership community for something like this. Let me take this one away with Marvin, and we will come back to you on that one.
Okay, another couple of questions about PDUs for this event. Is there a PDU for this event, and will it be added automatically?
Unfortunately, we were not allowed to have PDUs for today's event because this actually does not add it does not involve any project management knowledge per se. So PMI has strict guidelines in terms of what can award a PDU and what cannot, and this did not qualify. However, we from the next session onwards, since we will have technical project management sessions, yes, they will involve PDUs, likely one, maybe even two PDUs, for depending on the types of sessions. And when you join in, we are already, and that's one of the things, we are already tracking how long you are spending within the session, and if you spend 45 minutes or more, you automatically get the PDU. You don't have to do anything else for that.
Excellent. Another good question or great question from the audience, specifically Shahir. How does one get selected to volunteer for an upcoming event?
Right. So what we do have is that we have a pool of volunteers with the chapter. If you would like to volunteer for the chapter, please drop in a line to volunteer.director or info. Yeah, volunteer.director at pmiua.org. Please drop in a line to Mazen at that email address, and we'll see what's the best place for you to volunteer. It may be that your skill sets are better suited to some other part of the chapter, and not just as an event volunteer. If you are part of any of the volunteer teams within the chapter, you can also be an event volunteer.
Excellent. Okay, I think we've gone through the questions. I'll see if there is any pressing question in the WhatsApp group. It seems that we have I guess one of the questions is, would the slides be available online?
Yes. So expect the slides to be up in a couple of days. So if you log in to the website, and if you have logged in as a member in the member login to the website, a new menu item appears on the website called Knowledge Corner. This menu item is not visible till you log in. It's not visible to non-members. If you log into the website, you can see a menu called Knowledge Corner. There'll be a library in there with all presentations from the past events, and this will go up in a couple of days.
Another question that came up, how regular would those webinars be?
We expected them to be monthly. Right now we have the dates identified for the next two webinars, and as soon as the next webinar is set up and invites sent out, we would have the plan for the one following that, and rolling basis, we would have at least two webinars planned in advance.
Okay, with that, I think we have consumed all the question capacity. Any final comments by our speakers, Alab and Hayat?
I just encourage the people to be with us as members, volunteers. So just come and get the information, get the benefits from us, and improve your skills as manager.
Perfect. And just one parting note from me. All of us that we've been speaking, Mazen, Hayat, myself, we've always started off as just members, found a way to contribute to the chapter and to the community, and that's how we've started becoming. Yeah, and brainstorming, and we figured out bigger. We realized that there were bigger contributions that we could make, and that's what we are doing. So if you feel that you can make a bigger contribution, please feel free to get in touch and get involved.
One more exciting question. Is PMBOK going to change this year?
As far as I know, PMBOK itself is not going to change, but I think the exam format is going to change sometime this year. There is, I believe, July, next month is when there will be a notification on what will change, and by December we would know exactly what is going to happen.
Okay. One extra question. When would the WhatsApp group be terminated?
We are going to wait for a couple of days for all the questions to come through and all the feedback set up. I think we will terminate it with the last message saying the presentations are up on the website.
So with this great information and our informative host of panelists, I'd like to thank everybody in the audience and thank our speakers, Alab and Hayat, for launching this wonderful series of webinars to give you some added value and more benefits and more localized knowledge when it comes to providing value to you. Thank you for your questions. If you still have any more questions, we'll keep the WhatsApp group for a couple of days. And please do get on to our website if you want to get access to the email addresses of the board members to get in touch with them. And with this, I'd love to thank you dearly and hope to see you in the next webinar or the next event in person next week. So final thanks to our wonderful speakers.
Thank you.
Thank you.